Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we will learn how to multiply or propagate our table rose, or they also call it as moss rose or Purslanes, Portulakas, table rose. There are different names given to them, and they come in a lot of different varieties, lot of different flowers. I basically have three varieties. One is the pink one. I have two types of yellow. This is the smaller one and this is the larger. Show it to this one. This is the larger yellow, and we also have the smaller yellow as well. I had couple more, but I think I lost them. So these are basically, they will be flowering until July. Again, depends from city to city. In my city it blooms until August, after which they start to go dormant. In most cases what's going to happen is that it will start to drop all of the leaves. So if you want to save the plant, most probably the mother plant tends to die off, only the stem tends to remain. So the best thing what you can do is, by the end of August you can start pinching and taking some stems and putting them into another pot. But however, they were not going to be flowering. They will only flower during the summers. Right now they are in their full blooming process. You can see they look absolutely beautiful. Now guys, in order for them to bloom, you need to give a good amount of direct sunlight, at least for 6 to 8 hours. Mine are also kept in afternoon direct sunlight, so they get full morning direct sunlight and they get sunlight until let's say 2 p.m. 2:30 p.m. they get a good amount of sunlight, and as the sun starts to set, the leaves, the flowers will start to close. So these flowers will keep their blooms open until there is sunlight. So the moment it starts getting evening, they will start to close their leaves. Now guys, it's pretty simple to multiply the plant. All you have to do is just take any cutting. For example, I'm going to take a cutting from here. You don't even need a blade, knife or scissor. You can just do it with your finger. Luckily I have long nails right now, so I can just take a cutting like this, and this is more than enough. So all we have to do is just take it and put it into the soil. So I have a small cup over here. They are not very picky about the pots. You can grow them in any pot and any type of soil mix, as long as it's well draining. Remember guys, these plants are drought tolerant. Even if you forget to water them, they can still do quite well. Do not overwater this plant. If you're using a container, ensure that the pot has a hole, and then you just take it and poke it into the soil, just like this. That's all. It's pretty simple. I'll go ahead and do a little bit of watering for this. Not complete watering, a little bit will moisten the soil. But always remember, these are drought tolerant plant. They can easily get overwatered. So ensure that you check once you feel around 70 to 80% of the soil is dry, only then go ahead and water it. They do not like too much of water. If the soil tends to stay soggy, or if there is excess moisture, they will start to rot. So be extremely careful. So we have just planted it. So I'm going to add very little water just for it to settle down. Now the best thing is that you don't need any kind of plastic or anything to cover on it. Usually when we take any cuttings, it's better to put a plastic over it to maintain a humidity, but for these guys it's not needed. This is a yellow one. Probably after 2 or 3 weeks it will start to bloom. I will definitely show you the video clip once they start to bloom. Now another important thing, this plant is extremely easy to take care, does not require a lot of fertilizers. Of course, if you're going to give fertilizers, there will be a lot of blooms. The best thing what you can do is you can use waste tea leaves, or you can use compost tea. You can use compost. If you have vermicompost, you can use that as well. Anything that is organic can be used. That is the best thing. Avoid using any kind of chemicals, because that again tends to damage the soil. So always go for anything organic. You can even go with seaweed solution as well. They are not very heavy feeders, but if you're going to use it during the flowering time, it will be beneficial. It will give you more blooms. But the most important thing, as I said, you have to give a good amount of sunlight, direct sunlight. Indirect bright light, the plant will do well, but there will not be much blooms. In order for you to get a lot of blooms, you have to offer a good amount of direct sunlight, at least for 6 to 8 hours. Let's say even if you do not get for 8 hours, at least minimum 6 hours, give it a good amount of direct sunlight. Whether it's in the form of morning direct sunlight or probably afternoon direct sunlight, they will work out really well. Unlike other plants, most of the flowering plants cannot handle too much of afternoon direct sunlight. These plants can handle. You can see right now they are in afternoon direct sunlight, and you can see all of them are doing extremely well. Another major issue with this plant is they are pest magnets. They usually get affected with mealybugs. A lot of mealybugs, so you have to do a routine check. The moment you see even one small little bug, immediately get into action. You can use any organic solution that you have been using. So what I tend to do is I tend to use 2 to 3 drops of vinegar and 3 to 4 drops of the soap, the dishwashing soap. I mix it and dilute it in water and then spray wherever there are mealybugs. That tends to take care of it, or whatever you have been using. But always remember, do a routine check, because this plant tends to grow very dense and the mealybugs can easily attack this plant, and they do attack at a very, very fast rate on this plant, what I have noticed. So be extremely careful, do a visual check. And treat the infestation at the early stage. Apart from that, it's a very, very easy to grow plant. All you have to do is just give them a good amount of light. Give the water when the soil is almost 60 to 80% dry, and then go ahead and give the watering. They can even handle if you do not water it regularly. It's absolutely okay. The plant will still do quite well. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.